and welcome to Balance of the Forces. I'm Chanel.
And I'm Richie.
And today we're going to be taking a look at some of our favorite cosplays from 2023.
Let's do it!
Yes.
But before we begin, and in case you're new to the channel, we're just going to take a little look back at our cosplay journey thus far. Okay guys, so Chanel got started in cosplay long before I did, so let's start over here first. Why don't you tell us when you got started and what you were doing in the early days?
So I started cosplaying when I was a freshman in high school. It's been a long time. And I did a lot of classic Disney characters starting out, like Rapunzel, Ariel, Belle, all those cute Disney princesses. But then I went to college and I met Richie and I dragged him to the dark side of cosplay and brought him to his first con that he cosplayed at.
That's right, we did New York Comic Con in 2019 as Star-Lord and Gamora from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was my first cosplay that kind of started the ball rolling. And this year was definitely our most ambitious year in the cosplay journey thus far, so without further ado, let's take a look at some of our favorite cosplay looks from 2023.
To start off our list, we are throwing it back to Richie's first cosplay.
Yep, in honor of the new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie that came out in 2023, we revamped our original Star-Lord and Gamora cosplays. Okay, so this year I picked up this. This is Hasbro's Marvel Legends series Star-Lord helmet, and I love it, and it's beautiful.
Put it on, put it on, put it on, put it on! Yes! I love it. So in terms of Gamora here, the costume itself was pretty simple. I did make that bodice piece, which is a lot of patchwork and leather. Bought a pair of leather pants off Amazon, got some belts from Goodwill, and attached some doodads. There you go. The hardest part is definitely her makeup.
Going green, baby.
We actually, at New York Comic Con, it was raining, and that was not fun.
That was a nightmare.
Yeah, I was like spotted dripping Gamora. But this time, I upgraded my makeup game. I used rigid collodium to create these scars in my face. Well, they're like deep inlets for her face markings. And then I used Mayron Paradise for my body paint. It is water soluble, so definitely stay out of the rain, but it gives really good coverage and is generally super non-damaging to your skin. And I felt like it honestly upgraded the whole costume.
Speaking of superheroes, we knocked off one of my dream cosplays this year that was on my vision board when we entered 2023. We did Homelander and Starlight from the Amazon Prime original series, The Boys.
This was a completely unexpected cosplay. I actually had anticipated doing Queen Maeve from the show, but we got last minute invited to an event with the cast of The Boys, and lo and behold, I had to get two costumes that we did not have ready in 2 days. So I ordered the base costumes off Amazon, I'll link them below, and just basically did intense refurbishments all night. I was up till 4 a.m. 2 nights in a row, making a new cape for Homelander, 2 Warbler belts to replace the like printed on belts, taking in the dress, making boot covers. Like, it was an absolute DIY Amazon flip of a costume, and I did it in 2 nights, and we ended up meeting the cast in these costumes, and it was insane. Look at them, look how beautiful this photo is. Everyone's just flipping off the camera and having such a wonderful time. We also threw a couple of villains into the mix this year, didn't we?
We cosplayed Harley Quinn and the Joker from DC Comics this year, and we debuted them at WonderCon in Anaheim.
Richie, why don't you start? I know this is one of your favorites, and you've got a really unique take on the Joker here.
Yes. So, my version of the Joker that I do is not really based off of any pre-existing version. It's kind of a combo of a lot. Like, it's Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, but there's also inspiration from Jack Nicholson and Mark Hamill's animated Joker. They're all in there, and I kind of love that. It's kind of just like its own version. I also just want to preface that I had never dyed my hair before, so I was really worried that the green hairspray was not going to come out. It did very, very easily.
It's used on children. They use it for Halloween. I told them it was going to come out.
I'm not afraid anymore. And in a very similar way, Chanel does a very unique version of Harley Quinn, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I obviously love Harley Quinn as a character, but so many people do this character that I really wanted to make sure I had a version of her that felt like it was my own and it was a little unique. And after watching the animated show, which is amazing, I felt like I finally found the version of Harley I wanted to emulate. The top and the bottoms are handmade by me, and the wig was also dyed and cut by me. So this was a full project, which was so much fun to do, and I'm really proud of how it turned out.
Crushed it!
Woohoo! Next stop on our list, a galaxy far, far away.
That's right, if you know us and our channel, you know that we are very big Star Wars fans, so we brought you a lot of brand new characters this year, but also some of our most impressive cosplays yet.
Stop it. First up on our Star Wars list, these are two of our most beloved characters.
Yep, probably how most of you guys know us at home.
It's gonna be Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala.
Okay, so Anakin and Padme, right? Two of our most iconic looks. However, we realized that we've never done a version of them from the same movie.
No.
Like, Chanel has always done Attack of the Clones versions, and I have only ever done Revenge of the Sith. So we figured it was time to have them in outfits from the same film.
Yep.
So we chose Attack of the Clones, specifically the scene where they're at the Lars homestead, right after Anakin gets back from his little trip to the Tusken Raider village.
Yes, this is actually one of my favorite Padme outfits, and one night I decided to impulse buy this dress off Amazon.
However, there was a problem.
There was a problem.
What was the problem?
It came in and it was completely stark white. It was obviously a little big for me as well. I did a lot of adjustments to this dress overall. I expected to, but one thing I didn't expect was having to dye the entire thing.
So we realized we had to do something to change that.
Yes. And so I ended up getting a giant 80-quart pot and dyeing this thing blue. And it was an absolutely insane process. I looked like a little elf cooking
You did.
Keebler.
You look like Kirby.
Yeah, I was like, ding, 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 ding. Ah! It came out, got a nice pale blue out of it, took it all in on the sides, and made, ooh, you wanna grab that for me really quick? Made this headpiece right here. 2 hours the day before. This is made out of hot glue and Warbler and silver spray paint. I think it looks pretty nice. But by far my favorite build of these two characters had to be Padawan Anakin.
It was totally Anakin, okay? The Anakin costume she put together was incredible. It was one of one. She made this thing entirely from scratch, every single piece. I also majorly upgraded because I had the boots, I had the right lightsaber now, I had the rat tail, which Chanel totally cut off of a wig and like made me a movie accurate Padawan braid.
How did I attach that to your hair?
How did you?
Painfully.
Painfully.
He
I
had
don't know.
such short hair.
She got the staple gun out and stapled it straight to my head.
Don't try this at home, kids. But yeah, you can see you've got the obi and you've got the outer leather tabards as well as the under tunic. Basically everything but the belt was made by hand, and I was just really happy with how crisp it turned out looking. Like, your silhouette was very Jedi-esque. But yeah, overall these were really awesome updates to these two characters.
Next up on our Star Wars cosplay list, we finally got around to doing Luke Skywalker and Leia Organa. This was really big for us because those are actually our two favorite Star Wars characters, respectively. So we've always really wanted to do them, however, we've just kind of held off because they're brother and sister, and since we're in a relationship, we always thought, you know, Anakin and Padme in a relationship makes more sense. You don't want to go down that path.
Unless you do.
You don't. So, a little bit about my Luke Skywalker outfit. So way back in 2017, part of the reason that Chanel won my heart was because, you know, obviously she said that she does costume design, she does cosplay, and that she could totally make me that Luke Skywalker jacket from Return of the Jedi with the little white patch that hangs open.
Yeah, I can totally make that for you. It's like whatever. You like want to go on a date or something?
And it worked. And so that's actually still the original piece is underneath that she made me way back in 2017. And she sort of just built around it, again, everything from scratch. It's one of one, totally custom made to me.
My Leia costume, on the other hand, was made completely from scratch from so much fabric. I had 8 yards of white fabric. I literally, again, it's a lot of fabric. And this one was relatively simple to put together, but overall the most rewarding, in my opinion. I didn't really get to wear it for that long at LA Comic-Con, so I'm really excited to bring it back. I just felt absolutely elegant in this dress, and if I'm being honest, it was one of the most cozy ones that I've ever worn.
Last up, to round out our cosplay list of favorites from 2023, we're going to talk about Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano.
Ayo!
Yayo!
This thing has been done forever, but I genuinely dragged my feet on Ahsoka Tano for so many years until we saw the Ahsoka episode 5.
We were absolutely just blown away with that episode of Ahsoka that has the flashback to Anakin and her on Mandalore specifically. So we were super inspired. We wanted to take things to the next level, and
We recreated that scene, basically.
We recreated it, yeah.
Which was so cool, because again, it was so inspiring and really cool to see these characters. I was already working on Siege of Mandalore Ahsoka anyway, but this just like pushed me to finish it and to really just do something creative with these costumes that we just absolutely fell in love with. I mean, look how gorgeous these turned out. Just a quick side note on certain aspects of making the cosplay. This was my first time really working with foam work and being able to seal it and prep it, as well as working with iron-on vinyl. So I learned a lot of new skills making this costume, which I thought was really cool. So there you have it, some of our favorite cosplay looks from 2023.
What's next?
Well, what was your favorite one from this year that you did personally?
I think Homelander was my favorite because that was one of the ones that I wanted to tackle going into 2023. So just the fact that I got around to it and did it twice was like really cool. Now how about you?
I think overall Leia was my favorite, but I do have to honorable mention my solo cosplay I did, which was Ariel. She was my first cosplay I ever did in my freshman year of high school, and I brought her back this year for the new Little Mermaid movie, and I just thought it turned out really great, so I had to shout it out.
Now please let us know below in the comments which were your favorite looks that we did this year.
And subscribe if you haven't already. Pretty good start to 2024, huh?
I'd say so. This is where the fun begins.